Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olushere, and if this is your first time, welcome, welcome. Do you think people are losing the ability to engage in deep work, or they are just adapting to new ways of processing information?
Hmm. I think it's the latter. I
Mm,
think adapting, some are struggling with, the new ways that, information is being told and information is being simplified and the way just information is being processed, and of course, the first thing that comes to mind is how AI is transforming the way we live, work, breathe, function. It is moving so quickly. You wake up and there's something new. I'm excited. I'm enjoying this personally. I can't lie.
mm.
Like, oh my God, that was the new one. I want to
Happy
try. I'm always trying new things every day. But that's me. Just because I think that I tell people, and the example I give is I can't imagine what it was like before the internet, but I can only imagine the people who were here before the internet, right? And how much of a struggle it was to adapt to this big thing that has now come. And I think that's where we're at again with AI and how it just feels like this big thing that everybody feels like, oh my God, do I really have to adjust to this? Like, what if I don't? I'm like,
You
yeah,
do.
just don't
Guess
be
what
late.
you do?
Don't be caught up clueless.
Yeah,
Don't do
yeah.
that to your kid. So I think it's that being ready to be adaptable, flexible,
Mm,
open-minded, ask questions, and don't do things in isolation. I just don't understand why people do that. Like, ask
mm.
questions. If you don't know, like, ask
Yeah.
someone that might know. What do you think about this? I was at a friend's house over the weekend, and he and his wife, they were like, "What do you think about this AI thing? Like, if I know that you're into it, okay, talk
Mm,
to us about it." Like,
mm.
just ask. And we're just on a dinner table. Like, it was just a fun day. I spent like 7 hours at their house. It was too much fun and vibes. But it was one of the conversations that we had. Like, this thing scares me, man. Like, what do you think? And we had a full on, almost reassuring conversation about it. That all they did was ask me a question, right? I can't say that I have it all figured out. I don't. But if there's one thing I'm proud of is to be open minded. And that's what I strongly recommend to everyone. Just stay open minded, and just don't get don't get swept away when the world has moved and you're like, oh my God, I'm
It's
still here. Yeah, nobody's gonna care.
trying to play catch up with it,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Interesting. So with I'm trying to recall the question, right? So people are not losing the ability to engage in deep work, but they are trying to find ways to adapt
Yeah.
the
And some
way
are struggling.
processing, yes, processing information. I think it must have been 3 days ago. I thought about the fact that the world we currently live in today is so different from the world we were born into. How things have changed. And I thought to myself, okay, when we were born, the internet was just becoming a thing,
Yeah.
and now, you know, we're here. Started off with what machine learning, bots, now we're in AI, generative AI. Everything is moving. I'm just like, what is the next thing? What is the next thing? And it's this thing you said, adaptability, flexibility, and resilience. It's that ability to be expandable, as much as you need to
Catch
be.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Once it comes, be a first mover,
Hmm.
a, a first adopter,
Yeah.
and then go along because it will still change.
Yeah. I would
There's
even say
not
go
much
beyond
change is
the
coming.
first user. Be at least a first asker. Ask questions. Just be
Be a
the first.
first
I
asker.
don't understand what's going on. What's happening here?
Mm,
You're better than the next person who is saying, "Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't care about this thing." No, don't do that.
mm,
I have two nieces, and I saw them a couple of weeks ago. You don't want to know the kind of things they're doing. And my nieces, for context, are 6 and 8 years old.
mm.
If you see what they are doing on the iPad, I'm afraid. Oh my God. They showed me how they'll tell ChatGPT that they want lyrics to a children's song, and they'll take that lyrics that ChatGPT creates, they put it in another AI agent, to tell it to convert it to, a short film or short video, and then they go to CapCut and they're editing it. I say, what is happening? What's going on? I was like, I don't even use this many tools. What are you people up to? But yeah, they're 6 and 8. And you at the lad, you're there saying, I don't want to know. Ah, okay.
I
Fantastic.
think it's that childlike mindset as well. Yeah, I think that's
Open to
it.
learning. Very open
Yeah,
to learning. Very open.
yeah. You know, it's all fun. And I think one thing that I don't want to lose with growing older is losing that playful side of me, that ability to just let loose and have fun and enjoy myself because, excuse me, a lot of learning happens. Look at the example you shared in your friend's house, you
Yeah.
know, over good fun, good food, but you know how much
Mhm.
knowledge, was shared and gained in that session, right? So if you're listening to this, be a child. Don't lose that childlike zest, that
Yep.
childlike enthusiasm. Don't allow adulting, like we call it, to take that away from you. Don't allow bills, don't allow to-do lists
Yeah.
to take that away from you because guess what? That is your business.
Yeah. And you need to
That
be
is,
mindful. You need to be
that is
mindful.
what yes, that is your business, right? So let's come down to minding your business in a hyper-connected world,
Yeah.
right? Um, how does because when I go on social media and I'm one of those people that I have a let's say love-hate relationship. I use the tool when I need to use the tool,
Mhm.
but I realized early enough how it could be a distraction, and then I started to put like measures in place to help me. So I have times in the year where you won't catch me on social media, dead or alive. I have times where I have there's some measures in place. But what I realized is that you go on there and it's like you have front row seat into the lives of people. I was having a conversation with um long story, a friend, let's just say a friend, right? And this person has said how she had followed this couple so much that she knew everything happening in their lives. She hadn't met them before. And then she
Mhm.
meets them, and then she now starts asking questions like, we literally took off from the same house.
Mhm.
And they were taken aback. How did you know this much?
Mhm.
You gave us that information, right? So my question is, how does constantly consuming other people's lives on social media
Mhm.
affect our mental space and decision? Like,
Oh my God. I think first of all, it doesn't give you space for anything else. Uh,
mm,
and I like having space for things that matter to me.
mm,
But you were saying front row seat to people's lives. The first thing that came to my mind is it's a front row seat to people's curated lives, right? It's not, it's curated. Like, and I tell this to people, like, I'm like, nobody but their own hand is going to put up anything on social media that doesn't portray them in the best light, except somebody else does that. And of course, you know, the
mm,
person is trying to be malicious or mean or evil or whatever. But by yourself, I mean, think about how many times you take pictures. And then before the one picture you post is the one that you firmly believe that, yeah,
is-
I think this might be the best out of all the 25. So it's curated, it's a curated lifestyle. And
mm,
mind yourself that it's curated, you learn to take it with you take it very lightweight, you know. I'm
mm,
not saying it's entirely unreal,
yeah,
but I'm saying that it's so well handpicked, right? It's so well attached and curated and arranged that that's not what life is about,
that's
in
not
my
what my
opinion.
life is about.
It's just not what it is about. Like I'm like, I think that, and this is what I tell myself, like when we see things, and I had to start realizing this. I didn't realize how much I was consuming internally and
Mm,
how it started to impact the way I thought about things.
mm,
But then I started to realize that, oh, when I'm making a point to having a conversation, I'm mentally picturing things that I've seen somewhere online or whatever, and it's not necessarily what I agree with, but it's because it's what I've seen multiple times. It then became something that I thought was reality, but I'm like, I don't think so,
mm,
right? And I just tell people like I love social media. It's fantastic. I just tell people be very lightweight about it. Don't be so deep. Don't be. Don't you have work? Are you not busy?
Good
I want to believe that
question.
you're a busy person.
Good
If
question.
like if you're busy, you're creating time for social media, and that's not what you're doing with all of your time,
Mm,
right? So I'm just like, be busy. Like when you're busy with your life, there's so little time that you're devoting to someone else. Like, why do I care about a couple's curated content
mm,
for an extended period of time? I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm like, is that really what is most important to you? That's what you need to ask yourself. This
mm,
information that I'm constantly consuming, is this really moving my life forward? You know when they say, is it moving the needle forward? Is it really moving my life forward? Right? If it is, then fine, honestly.
mm,
Right? If it truly is, then you go boy, you go girl. But if
mm,
you genuinely ask yourself that question and you're honest with yourself and it's not, then maybe you need to make a couple of changes. But I think generally I just tell people take it lightweight. It's curated content. So
mm.
you can't, it's never that deep.
It's
It's
not
just
that
never ever that deep. Never. So yeah, you know.
be lightweight. It's never that deep.
Mhm.
Do not make decisions about your life from other people's curated content. Social media is not the truth. What you see happening on the streets of whatever, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, is not the truth.
Yeah.
Could there be some elements of truth there? But that's not the truth. Be
Not the
light.
entire right.
Yeah,
That's the not the entire. It's not your entire life.
yeah. It's just
I
the,
cried before coming up to this session. Do I look sad? But what if I'm truly sad?
hmm,
I had to show up here, and I'm going to show up in my best self possible. Right. That's it. So why would you take that one picture and just blow it up and decide that you're making judgment calls based on that? I don't quite get it
hmm,
personally.
interesting. Thank you, Fed. That was really, really good. So now I find that information also goes on social media. So what's the balance between staying informed and protecting your peace?
Oh yeah, no, I stay informed a lot. Like I'm literally always reading online. It's so hard for me to read books, and I'm one person to put my hand up and say I'm still one of those people that struggles to read actual physical books. And I'm like I have too much information in my head, and a lot of that comes from reading online. So I'd say just be deliberate. And I think we're adults, right? You're not a kid. They're like you're just not a child. So, I think maybe I'm not very kind to Agbalabas. Like I like to call them like stop behaving like a child. Like you know what is good for you and you know what's not. You don't need me to tell you what's good for you and what's not. You know what is content that you consume and is helpful. And you
Mm,
know what you consume and it's just gist and it's just vibes and it's makes you look at someone differently or makes you mind the business of others. You don't need me or Shuri to tell you that. So that's my answer. You just don't need us to tell you that. Like really, yeah, figure it out. I
you're now. Be deliberate. Know what works for you. Like what Ife said. Is it adding to your life?
don't know. Possibly.
I mean, if it is adding to your life, then go for it, right? If it is not adding to your life, remember it's your business, and we define your business as God and the things that God has given to you, has placed around you, right? That is your business. So the things you're consuming, right, are they adding or not? Yeah. So let's zero down to your niche, AI and minding your business,
Ah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, it has made life light years easier
Yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
right? But there is the concern about decreased human cognitive abilities
Mhm.
because of over, well, maybe the operational word here is over reliance on
Mhm.
AI, right?
Mhm.
So what's your take? Is this
Mhm.
is it's a tool, right? But in terms of it being a threat to deep work.
I think it will be if we let it be that.
Mm,
You know, it still goes back to that bit about taking responsibility for the things that matter to you,
mm,
right? It's not anyone's prerogative or anyone's business to
mm,
know if Shore is not using AI and is lazy about her job. I don't care about Do you understand? The same way you're not like, oh, if you use AI from now to the next week, are you really still
Mm,
improving?
mm,
Like you're the one that has to be responsible for
mm,
your learning, your improvement, and not your decline, right?
mm,
So as much as I love AI tools like the next person, I really love them. It's as simple as putting a prompt in ChatGPT and just not copying and pasting it. Can we not? Can we just stop that?
mhm.
It's as simple as that. Like a prompting, it gives you a response and just not copying and pasting. Why are you
And
doing?
refine
Come
it.
on.
Mm.
Like at the very least, read through. Read
Put the
through.
human element.
Just read it. Read through and even put a comma somewhere that you do not put a comma. Come on, let's be
Don't be
guided.
lazy.
Let's be guided. I feel like it's as little as that. Just even and that's the taking responsibility part.
Mm,
Saying, you know, this thing doesn't really sound like me, or I think I just want to make some edits. And it makes your life easier. There's so many things I don't start from scratch anymore. And to God, I'm thankful. Because I was like, what is the things I used to do from the beginning? Why? So I'm very thankful because I use those tools. Like at the moment, my ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Perplexity, they are open on my computer because I'm running multiple things, at the
mm,
same time. It's not to make you lazy, it's to make your work easier, it's to enhance your work. And that's what all the builders and the founders of AI tools keep preaching. We enhance, we enhance, we enhance. We're not here to take your jobs, we're here to enhance. We're not here to make you lazy, we enhance.
mm.
But what is an enhancer supposed to do? It's supposed to make you better.
Yeah.
How can you be declining because something is
Making you
making you
better.
like it doesn't even make sense, right? It doesn't work that way. But
Free up
I think
time
the
for you to do the things humans should do.
I
Think,
think it's the core of it
create.
is just taking responsibility
Mm,
for your learning, your improvement. Same way I would say, don't get left behind. So don't be one of those people that says, I don't want to try out AI tools and things like that. Just try, be open minded, but be responsible about it.
responsible. Yeah,
Yeah, I
responsible.
think,
There's a lot about responsible AI.
yeah.
A lot that I cannot necessarily
Mhm.
speak about for um um how would I put this now? Because of certain situations, but yeah, but it's important that when you're using AI tools, be responsible about what you use it for and how you use AI tools. I think that's a very um important call out. It's a lot of responsibility on your part as an individual, right? Not to sleep in or sleep up.
Yeah,
Sleeping
yeah.
is, just like you said, just being flat out lazy about the use of it, right? Sleeping out is, being um agnostic to it or not getting involved um with it because it's actually here to stay. It's not going
Yeah. And I
anywhere.
guess the responsibility part comes,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's only going to get better from here,
Yeah.
right? Like it's only going to create more convenience and more convenience and more convenience until Lord knows what happens, right?
Mm,
So you cannot use it, but
mm.
it's how you're using it and just being responsible for your own, personal growth, is my opinion.
Okay, so we're wrapping up. So if Ifeoluwa could design an AI tool to improve focus. Yes, so we're wrapping up now. So if Ifeoluwa could design an AI tool to improve focus and minding your business, tell us what would it look like?
My God. I think it would be a tool that knows when you're getting distracted.
Mm,
It can sense it somehow
you know?
and it just brings you back. Because I think that's one thing that a lot of us get caught up in distractions. So I think just something that I know there are many tools where you can say, oh, 1 hour on social media a day, all of this kind of things, but still, I think just too many things. So it'll be a tool that really helps us refocus every time some distraction tries to rip you apart. I think it would be that, you know.
And as you were saying that, what came to mind is the fact that there's actually no tool, except you want to give control of your life to a tool. There's
Mhm.
actually no tool that would take the place of you making up your mind. This
Which is
is
why I say, let's go
I,
one. Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah,
This
you
is
have
what I
to
want to know how
remember
many times you put your Instagram to 1 hour every day,
it.
and then when
Yeah.
it says time up, and then it brings the you say ignore time limit for today. Ignore time limit.
You sound like you've used those tools because how do you have this much information?
My sister.
How? I don't even know what they do.
I'm telling you. So I had a time where I had Instagram on for just 15 minutes a day, and it was good, 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 good. But as I started to get like more involved in doing work on Instagram,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I then had to now start to increase that time limit. So personally, I have like a time. I
Hmm.
I don't use beyond a certain time
Hmm.
on each app. There's some apps that I can conveniently do without. Like,
Yeah.
like
I think that's the good point, right? Which is some people that's literally social media is where you do your work, where you
yeah.
get your money. So like this is not a don't use it. That's where your daily
Mm,
bread comes from. I think for
yeah.
me, which is why the first thing I said was I don't think attention span is a social media thing. I
Mm,
think it's more struggling with distractions, focus, and things like that. Just the struggle to be present,
mm.
in each thing that matters to you. I think that's more where the struggles are. But
Okay, 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 okay. So let's talk about habits and mindsets that help you stay focused, that you can share with them, with anybody that stumbles on this video, anybody that
yeah.
is a subscriber.
Mhm. Oh, habits and mindsets. I think and one of my mentors said this to me, and I feel like it just hasn't left me. And it's such a simple statement. It's mind over matter. Like it's very simple, but
Yes,
when I'm struggling with stuff,
you say that a
I
lot.
can't say it now. I'm like, it's mind over matter. It's mind over matter. Get
Yeah.
up. But I remember when she said, I'm sure she has even forgotten that she said that to me. Shout out to Mrs. B. But I think she was talking about it in relation to taking like 5 a.m. walks every morning with her husband because she just wanted to stay fit. And she's like, sometimes he'll wake up and she's like, oh, please. He was like, get up, it's mind over matter. This sleep that you're sleeping is not important. And I remember it just stuck with me. So I think it's mind over matter where, you know, it's the things you tell yourself and it's the things you push yourself to do,
Mm,
right?
mm,
It's the
mm,
remembering that nobody else is going to do all these things for you. It's the
mm,
remembering that nobody's going to make discipline happen for you or
mm,
make resilience happen for you or
mm,
make focus happen for you. It's a you thing,
mm,
and you just have to figure it out one day at a time. So I think it's first mind over matter, just telling myself that and trying to leave that every day. Um,
mm,
it's also just taking breaks where I need to, and all kinds of breaks, any type, you know, take a walk, take a break from being online, take a holiday, shut down for the weekend, this weekend, maybe don't be outside. Maybe just actually sleep. How about that? How about that? So
mm,
it's any kind of break, anything that makes you feel just calm and peaceful
mm,
and quiet. You know, I think it's also just it's building up your faith. I like to talk about something that I call the maturity of faith. It's seeing that the way you react to situations has improved from how you used to prior to now.
yes,
You
sister.
maturity of
Yes.
faith way you react to stressful situations has improved. Your faith is now mature. It's a lot more mature. Like you have to be able to see it. That okay,
By yourself.
yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like you need to tell yourself that this situation, if it had happened a year ago, this is not what I'll be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is not how I'll be treating it at all. So that
Mm,
maturity of faith must happen for us
mm,
as
mm,
young people, as mid-age people, whatever. But you must see the growth.
yeah.
You must feel the growth, and you must be able to tell yourself that yes, I'm growing.
Mm,
I think those are the
mm,
things for me, and it's
mm.
a work in progress. It is.
Amazing, amazing. So, mind over matter, don't forget. Nobody is going to make discipline happen for you. Nobody is going to make resilience happen for you. It's your responsibility. You're going to have to take that responsibility. You can outsource that responsibility, right? Take breaks. I think more than taking breaks, I'm learning. I'm still on that journey. I'm far from where the vision I see, but I'm on the journey, right? incorporating these breaks into my life every day so that I don't get to a place where I absolutely need a break. And then I take that break, go on a holiday, and I come back exhausted from being on a holiday, right? So
Yeah.
incorporate breaks into your routine, into your life, into the things that you do, because the truth is that we all need a break. Like if I said, take a walk, sleep.
Sleep, oh,
Some
sleep,
people, your
sleep,
break is actually sleep.
sleep.
Just like
Sleep.
I get very my body and I have a very funny relationship. When my body wakes up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I'm like, no, go back,
Not today.
go back,
That's
go
it.
back to
Yeah.
bed. Because what am I doing up at 7 a.m. in the morning? Which most
Weekend.
likely I had slept at maybe 11, 12, sometimes 1. I'm like, why are you up at 7 when you slept at 1? And it's not
Get the
like,
full 8 hours.
eh? When
I
it's
said
not
get the
like
full
you have
8 hours.
anything planned.
Yeah.
Like if I have stuff planned, of course, but
Mhm.
I just like a very good sleeping Saturday where I wake up, sleep, eat, go back to bed, read a book, see a movie, because maybe I get that kind of weekend once every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once I get it, I'm like, oh my God,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
treasure it. So, like sometimes I turn off my phone when I want to sleep, that kind of sleep, so that nothing is beeping around. I take off my wristwatch. I remove anything that can, because I just want
Yeah.
to take that rest, right? So
But
take that break, incorporate rest and break into your routine. And then if I talked about the maturity of faith, I think from that's very crucial because life would always life.
mhm.
For my viewers that don't understand that, things would always happen. Like things would always happen, but you then realize the way you reacted to it last year or something similar, last year, last month, last week, yesterday is
Yeah.
different. And when you recognize that difference, celebrate it,
Yep.
call it out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I just did this. Oh my God. Oh,
Mhm.
because it shows that you are growing, you're improving, all the efforts are counting, is
Mhm.
making for something. Yeah, thank you first so much for sharing. So, where can our listeners find you?
Mm.
Have anything you can recommend in terms of minding our business?
Uh, I
Where
mean, I'm
can we
always on.
find
Let me think about it. Like LinkedIn is my jam. It's my full name. If Loa Ogunbo for me, I'm on Instagram, but my account is private, so I don't want people to be offended. If I say follow me on Instagram and you follow now,
don't
you know.
follow her
But
on Instagram
I mean, feel free. It's
or
really not
find her on
that big.
LinkedIn.
I just don't. I'm not a celebrity, so that's my own. That's my own explanation for being private on Instagram. You know. But yes, so you can follow me on LinkedIn. I don't do Twitter, unfortunately. I think it's a very vile app. I can't keep up. My brothers and everyone that cares about me has to always send me links to Twitter. Like, you have to see this tweet. Go, 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 go. So I rely on them fully. I do
You
Instagram.
and
I
I
think
both
Instagram.
are on that Twitter. I just never understood the app.
Yeah, no, but I think it's fantastic.
And
Maybe it's
then
just
the time I had tried to post, I had posted something and then somebody just said something in a very nasty way.
nasty way. No, but
Okay.
what did I do? It makes you tougher. Maybe I'm not trying to be hardened. It gives you some
I'm
kind
like,
of
no.
yeah. But I mean, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Actually, it's ifelua_io. It's private, but I will accept it. So it's not that deep. Like I said, I'm not a celeb, so And then my business page is Strategy with Ifelua on Instagram. Same for the website, strategywithifelua.com. So that's me.
That's us tonight. Thank you, Ife. This is tonight or today. But we're filming this in it's not here, but I
Next
mean,
time here.
yeah,
Yeah.
you watch it morning, afternoon, whenever you get to see this. Thank you for staying through to this point. We do appreciate. And we hope you have learned one, two, three things. If you did learn something, please let us know in the comment section. If you found this useful, if you know someone that would benefit from this, please, please, please share this to them as well. We're doing this because we truly believe that there is impact in what we say and what we do. Yep, signing out.
Well, thanks for
Bye.
having me. I think it was amazing. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Fair. Thank you.
No worries. Bye.